Hello, traveler.
Yes.
Are you weary?
Yes.
All right, hey, we're at New York City Comic Con Day 3. My name is Modern Day James here on the Proko YouTube channel.
And we're going to be interviewing artists.
How did you start making money as an artist?
Drawing comics. I mean, luckily enough, I was able to get my first published gig when I was in my senior year of art school at the Cubert School. Thankfully, I've never had to do anything other than just draw for a living. This Cubert School prepared us to do a little bit of everything, you know? So I did video game storyboards, or I did movie house storyboards, or I did toy designs for, you know, that kind of stuff. So you find other things to do, but you're always doing something.
It took me a while to kind of find what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to draw for a living. And so it was many years of just mucking around until I kind of fell into doing comic books. And thankfully it's something I've been able to make a living out of.
I started doing commissions back in the day. And then I started getting like gigs to do like illustrative work for like Riot Games and stuff like that.
How did you start making money as an artist?
My main thing was that I was doing film. I was working in film, being an editor, and then I wasn't into the film industry as much, so I switched to games. And I made my first game called Aegis Defenders. But after that, it was kind of a mild success, so I was like, I'm gonna take a break and do this piece actually. So I started just drawing for Instagram just for fun, not because I wanted to do anything with it, but just drawing for fun. Then people saw like, oh, he's an illustrator, he does illustrations, I'm gonna hire him to do something. Someone from Devolver saw my work and was like, do you wanna do a piece for us? And then I started getting paid like well enough where I was like, hey, I could just keep drawing for fun then, because that's what I'm getting paid more to do. And so I just kept doing that.
I started making my first money, it was my first job in comics. But then I started doing a lot of these conventions as well. And I feel like these are a great way to make extra money too, because you can get your own table, you can sell prints of your artwork, you can do drawings for people, and they're even good for kind of exposing yourself to new clients. I've gotten a lot of jobs at Comic-Con, so really just getting your stuff out there, selling stuff online too.
Coming to shows. I walk around with my portfolio, talking to editors and different publishers and whatnot. And it was cool. I got work, got freelancing work, but it wasn't until I really started, you know, putting my work together, you know, for a table. You know, as far as the presentation, presenting my work to everybody else outside of editors. That's when things started really working.
Just started showing my book around ad agencies and just started getting work, you know, and then I would promote myself by postcards, or back in the day, there was these source books, like American Showcase and Workbook, that you pay to have your work in, and art buyers from around the world see it. And that's how, you know, started getting my clientele. I always thought it's like being in a band, you know? You go on the road to develop your fan base, you know? And people see your stuff that aren't gonna see. Like, you guys never knew of me until you came here, you know?
I mean, professionally, I started making money doing storyboards for advertising agencies. And that led to my job at Vivendi drawing video game covers, like concepts for covers. Those were the real art jobs, I guess, that I got consistent payment.
How did you start making money as an artist?
Well, I started off doing the fan art thing and then selling art prints and then like kind of monetizing that content. So like Gumroad, obviously the prints, merchandise, and then through that popularity, you get like work from companies to do like illustrations and whatnot.
As a young adult, you just went to cons and sold your prints essentially?
Basically, yeah. Like as a teenager into my young adult years.
Some heroes gain their abilities from birth or a miraculous encounter. Others still train using ancient methods until they've honed their skills. And then there's heroes who choose to embrace the technology at their disposal, creating new possibilities and redefining what it means to be a hero. That's not too far off from the journey artists take when learning how to do digital art. And Proko has teamed up with John Nymeister, a digital art pro, to bring a course that will teach aspiring digital heroes everything they need to know to get started. From understanding the basics of digital software, to getting acquainted with the freedom to edit their photo reference.
Check out proko.com/digitalpainting to get started today.
I was in art school. I had 1 semester left, and I quit to become an actor. I saw my path. I was gonna get hired at a movie studio or game studio, and then I would die. You know, that was my path. I got scared. I'm like, I want to live a little bit. I moved to Hollywood, and I was like, holy shit, what the f do I do? But I'm living it. Yeah. It's taking risks, and so I studied like cold reading, improv. I studied scene study for like a year. Yeah. It was really fun. I learned so much about myself, and then I missed art again. I just want to draw and make people laugh, and there's like no role model for me. Yeah. And so I spent like a week really confused in my room, creating my YouTube channel, and that's how Rothschild was born. And I was like, oh, yeah, this sounds fun, you know? If people are enjoying it, I get to draw and make people laugh. And then I'm like, oh, guys, I have no money. Can someone help me here? And so I started my Patreon. Luckily, I think I was at a level where I could teach people. And so I started that following there. Oh, shout out Patreon. Thank you, Patreon. I think if Patreon wasn't here, I maybe would have had to work 10 times as hard because back then there was no way to kind of like support myself rather than just grind YouTube videos. But by Patreon, I can do tutorials, I can teach, you know, so it helped me pay the bills. So I think that was my early start.